We need to think of a shift in focus from schools, from a place where teaching happens. I'll wait for the translator to catch up. A place where teaching happens to a place where learning happens. And I think the implications of that change are very significant. And now I'm not talking about Collins and Halverson anymore, I'm back to me. In this environment, the teacher still remains central and crucial, but the role of the teacher is changing. It's being rethought. It's actively being rethought. Many of you are a part of the process by which it's being rethought. To think about the teacher as somebody who facilitates active, engaged, situated, collaborative learning. To think of the teacher as somebody that designs learning environments, resources in which choice and movement and self-direction is still possible, in which the learner must take an active response in interacting with the material in order for learning to take place. It's not just presenting things, it's creating an environment, a space, if you will, in which learning can happen. Creating opportunities for learning and encouraging students and learners to take advantage of those opportunities. And the motivational elements here remain very, very important for the educator, but the economy of motivation is different today. The things that motivate young people to learn are not the same things that motivated me to learn, or many of you to learn when you were in school. And this networked identity, this connection with social groups, is part of that changed environment of motivation, which is a resource for us. It's something we can take advantage of in encouraging learning if we understand that the things that learners are interested in and excited about and motivated to understand and to learn are different in some ways from the ways in which we might wish they were. But we have to reach them. It's another aspect of this changing environment. I touched on this earlier. We have to help students learn to make choices. But how do you learn to make choices? You learn to make choices by making choices. You learn to make choices by sometimes making bad choices or wrong choices and learning from them. But you can't learn to make choices if you're not given the opportunity to make choices. And sometimes our desire for control as educators, control of the classroom, control over covering material, control over the scheduling and getting through certain things in a finite period of time, means that we're not willing to give up that control and let the learner make certain kinds of choices and decisions. And in that process, I think we lose an opportunity to motivate and engage them where they are, as I said earlier, not where we wish they were. I think an important aspect of teaching now is promoting collaboration. If students are more socially connected and more socially networked with each other, then we should take advantage of that. That's a resource for us. It's a motivational strategy for us. We need to give learners more opportunities to learn together, because that's the way they're interacting with each other in other environments as well. This gets back to this idea of knowledge as something that's in one person's head, as opposed to knowledge as something that is learned and created and shared among a group of people. And also, we need to prepare students with the skills and the capacities for lifelong learning. You know, this phrase, lifelong learning or learning to learn, is not a new idea. It's certainly not shaped in any way by technology. It's been around for a long, long time. But I think that it's a reality in the era of technology in which learning is a continuous, ongoing, ubiquitous opportunity that we need to think about how to prepare people for a life of learning. In every single field, especially when you get to the university level, in every single field, the knowledge that the students are going to be working with and needing to have to do their job 5 years, 10 years, 20 years after they graduate is going to have very little relationship with what they were actually taught in their schools or in the formal curriculum. The things that last, critical thinking skills, communication skills, study skills, knowing how to use the internet as a learning device, as a learning resource. Those are the capacities that will last. The skill of collaboration itself. These are the skills that will last long after particular knowledge that we might communicate with them has become obsolete and outmoded. And that doesn't mean we stop teaching the material. It doesn't mean we stop covering certain things that it really is important for people to learn. But at the same time, we need to be thinking about what are these other capacities and skills that will outlive that knowledge and will truly make them capable of lifelong learning. And finally, let me say that once they have those skills, they won't need us anymore. And so in closing, I want to leave you with this quote: "Good teaching is making yourself no longer necessary." And that's the best kind of teaching because it prepares students for this lifetime of ongoing, ubiquitous, lifelong learning. Thank you very much. I'd like to take some questions.